Talisca, a great experience, of course. And a player who particularly enjoys playing against Al-Raed. We should mark to our viewers, Sam, that he's actually scored in the last 3 games against Al-Raed.
He's a big goal threat, and maybe going to have to be a bit more bit part this season because of the options in attack, but certainly knows where the goal is, and he's had great success. Play anywhere, operate anywhere across the front line. Comfortable on the ball, as we're seeing there, starting to dictate proceedings early on.
Mane to the left as we resume. And what a good run forward that was by Brozovic. He made one of those in the first half, and Ronaldo didn't give him the ball, but he got it there. And he's quickly out to take the corner. Fast start by Al-Nassr. Tellez. That was Talisca, and it's a tame effort in the end. That's a presentable opportunity, really, for Al-Khaibiri. Straight at Morera. Sayoud. Stopped by Lajami.
She's sat up beautifully here and had a little gap in between the 2 defenders to try and smash that outside of the right foot towards the far post, but didn't get the direction.
Sunbol, he was lively, but he couldn't find the net in the first half. Really good chance.
My concern would be that they've got some technical good players. Sayoud, Fuzer in particular, that can get hold of the ball and probably keep it in the opposition's half, but it's the pace I'd be concerned about when you're down to 10. You need that outlet. Sunball on the left looks like a willing runner, but I don't think you've got anyone explosive. Tavares would have been a different proposition had he stimbled on, someone that you could have hit from deep and get runners to join in. But I think when you go down to 10, you need someone to be able to turn defence into attack as quickly as possible to give you a little bit of respite, if anything. So that can still come from the bench at the moment. Big concern.
Tame challenge by Norman. Ronaldo tried to steer it rather than power it. Morera's going to drop on it, and the chance comes and goes.
Yeah, you said it. Norman's got to make the challenge there. It's actually coming up, isn't it? It's the second one that is not good enough. Now Anam gets into a really presentable crossing position. He picks out Ronaldo, no problem at all. That should be a taste of what we'll see a little bit more of in the second half. Not seen Anam in too many attacking positions.
Sunbol coming in on that. Very well played by Lajami. Talisca. Defenders selling themselves is not going to help Al-Raed's cause, and that time it was Ali Yusuf. Mane crosses. Norman out to Otavio. Better tempo about Al-Nassr, I think, early in the second half. Talisca! Oh, wonderful! Absolutely wonderful! 4 in 4 meetings now against Al-Raed. Surely none better than that one.
It's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? Delicious strike. I think the goalkeeper has that problem because he's afforded so much space. He can go either side there, so he's not going to commit himself one way or the other too early. Probably got to watch it come off Talisca's foot before he moves. And it's just dispatched. You knew as soon as that was struck, it was going to find the net. Power, direction, but again, too much space, and they'll know all about him. You preempted it, Paul. He's got a fine record against this team, and here, receiving it off Al-Hanan, and that is just perfect. Keeper moves, can't get his arms up in time, flashes past him. Brilliant goal, sensational stuff.
Anything Mane or Ronaldo can do, I'm equal to it, he says. Noticeably brisker in everything they've done since half-time, Al-Nassr, and getting rewards for it.
Great angle, actually gathering speed as it crashes into the net. Sometimes when you look at the goalkeeper's starting position and see where it ends up, you think possibly he can do better, possibly he can make a save, but that like it was speeding up as it entered the net. Wonderful goal.
So hard, Sam, and I'm sure without even asking you, you must have been in scenarios like this in your own playing days. Al-Raed do so well in so many ways. In the first half was there. So many players have performed very admirably in many ways. But then they go in a goal down and a man down. What does it take when you're in that position?
It's incredibly difficult to take, isn't it? I would presume the game plan would have been exactly what we saw for 40 minutes, give or take. It's in the hands of the gods a little bit in terms of taking the chances. You hope that your forward players can have an on day and can produce those vital moments, but in terms of the defensive stability, it was perfect. They frustrated Al-Nassr throughout that first period. They opened them up 2 or 3 times. That's probably the best you can expect. Got to take those chances. And then the second half probably would have been an uphill challenge, probably would have been bodies on the line. You plan for that. Everything out of the window in the space of a minute. Must have been a really despondent dressing room, and it's tough now to respond.
Sadio. Norman is free on the back post, and still free on the back post, but the ball isn't elevated. And now look at Norman. I was here all the time, chaps. There was just one other element to it. You know, the build-up play was brilliant, and Talisca obviously has scored a goal of the month contender. But the way Al-Yusuf sold himself in the build-up when Al-Nassr attacked, that they needed better than that, didn't they, in that moment?
Been a few examples of that. Start of this second half. A few opportunities where the ball was there to be won. They've not been physical enough, and I think that was something to be commended in the first half. I thought they really compressed the game, got into some of the Al-Nassr players, but that's not been evident start this second half. Maybe fatigue setting in already, or just despondent.
Just that higher tempo in everything that Al-Nassr has done. A fumble by the goalkeeper there. Al-Nassr gets away with. Jami, not clear. Sayoud.
Couple of men over there, it's the wrong choice. Pretty good response actually from going 2-0 down, certainly in terms of territory. They've been up the pitch, they've been able to keep it there as well.
Beri to Al-Nassr. Laporte. Mane. Al-Nassr, remember, on a yellow card early, the right back, and he's probably in for a very testing, 35 odd minutes. That's the ball I think Sam was speaking about. It's well delivered this time. Goalkeeper in no man's land, was left to turn round and hope, and another chance today for Al-Raed comes and goes.
It's arguably the best ball of the game. Superb, breaches the back line of Al-Nassr perfectly. I was going to say I admire the attempted finish, because if that comes off, it's beautiful. I think he's got more time. I think he can take that touch. Chip very much could have still been on, or he could have executed a different finish.
Going the other way. Al-Khanam, great cross. Is Mane distracted? Either way, he missed it.
Oh, they're tough, those ones. I want to say it's a sitter, but when they're jumping up at your shins with pace, concentration really, and the contact on the left foot, firm side foot, stiff ankle, doesn't get it right.
I don't think he'd be very happy just at the moment. Somebody might pay for that later. think Al-Hassan will come on in a moment as Al-Nassr seek to find a way through again. Talisca has the pass blocked down. Sayoud. He supplies one through the middle this time. Can Fuzair do any better? A clean tackle. Referee sees nothing in it. The chance goes, like so many have come and gone for Raed. And Fuzair still down. Sayoud was the likely player with the assist then, having, of course, lofted the ball over the crossbar himself, but he plays this pass perfectly.
The timing of the run, this is the uncertainty I was speaking about from Al-Nassr in the early weeks of the season. Tellez playing him onside there. I thought it was a clever bit of forward play, trying to get across the defender and then enticing this challenge that comes in. Oh. Yeah, I think that's questionable. I don't think he gets enough of the ball there. It got a celebration, didn't it, from Lajami? He was thrilled.
We're doing instant VAR on that, aren't we?
It was interesting. Lajami sprung to his feet and celebrated it like a goal. I'm not so sure that wasn't a foul.
Me too. Abdul Al-Khabiri is going to come off. Al-Hassan. It's 2-0. Al-Nassr hot favourites to go on and win again. They've got all the devastating frontline players, but every few minutes in this game a moment of concern. Telles into the space. I think Altavio was the player who was trying to reach. It's back where it started with Telles. Talisca, Ronaldo. Offside. Yes, Yusa. To Al-Nassr. Sayoud trying to make things happen again, and credit to him for that. And might be a yellow card here, I think. Not been on the field very long, Al-Hassan.
All of a sudden they've sharpened up, haven't they? Intensity, I think, was lacking in some of their play, but I think when you go down to 10, eyes are on those forward players to try one or two things.
And they keep on trying them. And Hassan comes away with it. The other reason I asked that question about how to regroup when you're on the wrong end of it at half-time, Sam, that first 5 minutes after half-time, so important in the overall shape of a game like this. Al-Nassr took the first 5 minutes hands down, didn't they?
Yeah, and all of a sudden they've found a little bit of a route, haven't they, back into this game. And whether it's complacency from Al-Nassr or just recognising that that high line can be breached, go a little bit more direct and seem to have worked that out and getting a little bit of joy, but they need to take that opportunity. Yeah. They've had two very good ones.
Problem is they've just given themselves so much to do. Al-Ghanam floats it in there looking for Ronaldo.
Sure, to this point, Ronaldo's had an attempt in open play, just the free kick I can recall. Oh, the one he stabbed wide actually early on in the piece, but very few sights of goal for him.
I recall you saying something very similar about Sadio Mane with about 25 minutes gone in this game. Now we're on the hour. Tellers with the corner. Ronaldo wasn't able to get a clear sight of that. Decent outball again. And off the ball, running fastest of all is Sadio, and he was pulled back there. They get a throw. I think Fazer is actually pointing now to the assistant and saying, did you see what happened on the halfway line there as I ran forward?
They're doing their utmost, aren't they, these two diminutive, technical little players. I probably didn't think they had this in their armoury. Started the second half to carry the fight towards Al-Nassr, to show that speed, I suppose, directness behind their back line. It's really been in evidence, just the final little bit of quality, the final shot, final pass. That's all that's been lacking.
If they were to get one, it's my turn to have a go at forecasting what happens in this match. If they get one, could it be set up for a late appearance by Karim El-Berkawi on the basis that he was their top striker last season? Could it be one of those games where his own personal struggle comes to an end? All what ifs at the moment, but they are not going away quietly. Raed. Laporte. I know there are going to be a lot of games of great import. Meetings with the big four, between the big four, probably will dictate the course of the title over the long run here in Saudi Arabia. The Champions League campaign, Asian version against Persepolis in Tehran. That all starts in midweek. They're going to need all their top players, and of course the one top player we're not seeing at the moment, Talisca's benefiting from his injury, I think. On the edge again, or is this inside? Raed hoping it's just outside.
I think it's a good decision. He's wrong side to make the challenge. It's an exceptional take once more from Mane. I think that's shielding the ball from the defender. He knows what he's doing there, really clever. Talisca, I mean, they're going to do well to keep him out of this team. Lovely mover, he's got that guile. I see a regular goal scorer in this league previously. Yes, he's playing against 10 here, but always so inventive. Looks like something's going to happen every time he's on the ball. He's not going to get the free kick here, though.
Saud is doing his very best to delay. So close near the end of the first half, Ronaldo. Every time he's stepping up for a free kick here, I think the ground staff are just getting ready to order a new set of goalposts or goal nets, because if any of these go in today, they're going to do a lot of damage.
It's missed by a whisker. It's almost perfect, isn't it? The placement. Got the whip on it. Maybe not quite enough, but good enough effort. Can't believe it. You know, they playing against 10 men, 2-0 up. If he doesn't score, he's not going to be happy tonight. That's a given. This is a prime opportunity to get those tally. Get that tally up. Get those stats up, sorry.
So they persisted with Norman, and he gamely stayed out there. But at no point has he looked comfortable since that head injury. He's now gone off. Abdullah Al-Fahad has come on for him. And they keep on trying. Raed. Naif Hazazi, just to correct myself, is the player who's come on. That was the previous substitute. And they're still in it. Now they have a corner.
They've done really well. Invariably setting up with a back five now, but those runners from deep, from the midfield positions in beyond, caused Al-Nassr all manner of problems in the last 10 minutes.
Al-Sabay is also on the field now. Fuzer still full of fight. Talisca. So this array of talent, plus Seko Fofana being nursed along at the moment as he tries to get over that early season calf injury, Sam. That's a daunting prospect. Fofana, I watched him a lot last season in Ligue 1 where Lens had a brilliant campaign. And by some way, he was one of the real standout players anywhere in Ligue 1. What an addition he will surely prove to be once he is fit again.
Yeah, the strength in the squad is something else really now, isn't it? I think it's just grown and grown since those opening couple of games.
Ronaldo. Raed is able to see that all the way. It was straight at him, more or less.
See fundamentally how this team, this 11, has been pieced together throughout the off-season. The arrival of Laporte, and then Otavio arrives. Fano, as you said, slightly before those aforementioned players, but in every position really. It's great quality. There's not going to be any margin for error. We've spoken about that already this evening. Having lost those first couple of games and the way that some of the other sides are motoring.
That's the problem for me. Quite right to mention that.
Just makes the games between the fancied sides so imperative, so important. And Al-Nassr face the teams in the higher echelons of the league. They have to take maximum points more times than not.
Brozovic. Otavio.
That said, Al Tawoun, for one, having seen them against Al-Nassr early part of the season, they've kept that momentum. A really good side, so they're going to upset a few, and that will happen. Al-Nassr just have to make sure it's not them again.
Tawoun in action in the last game of this match day 6 away to Al-Ahli. Laporte. Talisca's really making things happen. Mane had to stop himself.
I think he just thought he could get a better angle for himself, work it into a nicer position on his right side, just stumbled somewhat. Loves that position. Already seen him score a few from that exact spot since he's arrived, bending it in.
20 of the 90 to play. Suddenly it appears to have gone slightly fat for Raed, understandably so. Let's see if they can lift the tempo again here now, because they have had some good moments. Sunbel run off it by Otavio. Talisca looking for a free kick, and the referee Roldan doesn't oblige him. Did well. Has the look of a young Marquinhos to me, actually, in that centre-back role. I'm not saying he's going to achieve what Marquinhos has in the game, but he's short of stature, reads it well, very quick, good to turn. And I guess it all helps if you're playing with somebody like Laporte. Offside knows he cannot dive in on Mane. That move has really worked well, hasn't it, second half? Pushing Mane out to that side.
Yeah, absolutely.
The constant endeavour of this chap is admirable, I must say, sadio. But again, it's easily snuffed out by Lajami.
Yeah, just as you say, that stretches off on the far side of the pitch, bit of cramp setting in. A few of these players are getting through some amount of work, some ball on the opposite side. Essentially, without the ball, he's dropping in invariably as a left-back. We'll see it in a moment, if he can find the energy. And then he springs into attack. But as you can see, when he was placed, well placed a few moments ago on a couple of occasions, just lacking that intensity now to get round the outside and potentially produce something for his side. He's got there now.
Brozovic away from him. Otavio. Talisca. Ronaldo took it down. Oh, well played again, Moreira. It's becoming quite a duel between those two. Was he offside, I wonder? It looks like he has been given offside.
Yeah, brilliant pick out once more. And what I love about this is the decision-making, recognising when it's in flight here. I think the majority of frontmen would have taken that first time. The touch, understanding that the defender's giving it up or he's a couple of yards off, touch, finish. Really clever attempt.
So, with a 2-0 lead, I guess Al-Nassr are hopeful that they can manage the contest out. This is the moment that made it 2-0. Wonderful, wonderful, and well worth looking at from any angle.
Yeah, it's a brilliant goal. You want your defensive players to get out quicker. Dangles a leg in the end there, but I think it helps the goalkeeper as well if you've got people closing that, and Talisca can maybe only see one side. He can anticipate, wasn't able to. Clear-sighted goal, could go either way. Wonderful execution. And again, we'll do well to keep him out the side when he's producing stuff like that, when he gets the opportunity.
Won't really do much better than that. It's only his second appearance of the season. Long way to go in the campaign, and I'm sure the Al-Nassr support will be expecting him to weigh in as he's done here. So it's not quite the script that I foresaw, but it is time for Karim El Barkawi, and it would be very nice indeed for the home support if he could choose his moment now to get the ball rolling as a goal scorer for this season. Sunbel makes way. Fahad. Talisca.
We'll go.
Lashami. Al-Hassan. Shut down. Got it persisting. And Fuzet, I must say, who has really stepped up in this second half. Still working hard, still trying to create something meaningful. Said went over, we all heard the appeal. Having a little go at the referee, Roldan, as he runs back as well. So that's not going to help his cause any. Still having a go at him. It's a great ball up to Ronaldo the other way. Otavio's doing his best to join in. Brozovic has it. Now Talisca. Doesn't try again, wants to give Ronaldo one. Even then the crowd wanted him to hit the second one. Bakanam. Talisca again. Into Ronaldo. Here he goes. We've waited for it. Now the wait is over. The number 7 scores with 77 minutes and a little more on the clock. 3-0.
The contrast between the two sides there, I think, really evident in the last minute. How hard the home side are having to work to fashion an opportunity at the other end. Copious amounts of chances to extend their lead. And it's 2 brilliant touches, I would say, here. Talisca with the inventive little bit of approach play, and then Ronaldo's touch to set up the finish, and he's happy now. And it puts the gloss on what looks like yet another victory for Al-Nassr as they're motoring up the table. He's just here, so clever, Talisca. Oh, and it's a nutmeg, it's lovely stuff. And then the finish, this time, gets the purchase, but the direction as well, crashes it past the goalkeeper on his left side.
So 14 in 16 Saudi Pro League appearances in the second half of last season, arriving from Manchester United. Now 7 in 6 in the new campaign. And add to all of that what he did in the pre-season cup competition. The task is to go on and emulate the level of destruction in front of goal late on. Talisca very nearly doing so. That was very close to being 4, remembering that they hit 5 against Al-Nassr before the international break, 4 at home to Al-Shabaab and 5 against Al-Fatah. And that's something you spoke about at the start of the game, Sam, the imperative to rack up these big scorelines if possible.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're starting to carve them open now. Brozovic, I think, with the slide rule pass. I'm going to have not seen too much of him as an attacking force, but perfect touch once more. Talisca, a little bit over it, actually. He's got to dig out the effort, but Just couldn't quite curl it into the far post.
Mamadou Loum comes on. Spared for another day. After all his endeavour here is Abir Sayoud. Mane next up. Got to win those, but the home side don't. And I think we might not be finished with the scoring yet.
Unable to get out, playing themselves into trouble once more, and all trying to get in on the act now. Ronaldo with a forceful effort, you've got to say, he generates real power this late in the game, but Moreira, not for the first time, a good stop.
Taken by Brozovic. Back to his keeper, his beleaguered goalkeeper. Fuser. The old saying, Sam, goals change games, which they do, but sendings off don't half change games. It's been so hard for Raed to contain Al-Nassr a man short.
Yeah, I still feel this finishes 3-0. They can leave with some optimism and some confidence to move forward with. Just setting up the way they did in the first half, if that's going to be the way they're going to go against the top sides in the division, not too much wrong with it. And it's just confidence with the front players, it's rhythm. You get that, I think it's the last thing to come in every season, that final little bit of sharpness. Maybe Mane and Ronaldo are pouring cold water on that sentiment somewhat, but I do believe it. You need a few games to get your fitness, and then that sharpness, that repetitiveness in front of goal, that will come. The set-up of the side looked good. They looked well coached in that first half, so hopefully for their sake they keep it at 3. It's got the potential to get ugly, hasn't it?
It really does, I'm afraid. And cruel on Raed for all they've contributed in this football match. But they have that mean streak in them, like all top players and top teams, and they're looking for more now. Al-Nassr. And more fresh legs. Abdullah Al-Amri and Mohamed Qasim are going to be introduced very shortly, maybe even now. A yellow for Telles, apparently. At which point Telles is withdrawn. Al-Ghanam. Tavio creeping into the centre forward position. Talisca. Brozovic. To Mane. Al-Nassr will recoup that one. It's a bit short to Qasim, in all honesty. Fuzet's brushed off it. Talisca. Al-Ghanam. Otavio. Otavio again. Using El-Barkawi there. And a little payback. Another decent pass up to El-Bakari. Into the box he goes. They earn themselves a penalty for all their valiant efforts, even if it is to be in a defeat. But Al-Raed do have the chance. And it's yellow, and I think Abdelala Almari is quite grateful for that.
Well, you're willing that to have a positive outcome when you see the skill executed in the middle of the pitch, and then Al-Bakari making the run in beyond and getting the toe, the all-important toe on the ball. And what comes next? It's a mess. It's a definite penalty.
Yeah. And what comes next here? Question for Al-Raed. Does he get the penalty or not, Sam? They're still arguing about it.
And you can understand it, because Fuzet has got through so much work, and it's his wonderful little bit of invention that creates the opportunity. It's still going on. Be fascinated to know what's happening. Oh, he's giving in. Maybe not.
Needs some intervention from the touchline. I don't get many right, but I did say El-Bakari might come on and do something in this game. He wants that penalty. We can laugh, but in professional football terms, this doesn't actually reflect very well for me. And I think if it was my team, I wouldn't like to see this as a supporter.
No, and especially not a 3-0 down, although a goal to get you back up and running is ever so important for front men. So I can understand him having the initial word and the initial conversation, but then 3-0 down, chaps, let's get on with it.
It's also a great distraction, and they may have made a decision, but they're still actually having a little go at each other. Fuzet gets the call. And over his shoulder, he can probably feel the thunder of El-Bakari, so he better get this in the net. Fuzet against Al-Akidi. Does that end the argument? Well, I think it might be revisited in the week, but anyway, they've got a goal. They deserve a goal for everything they've put into this.
My goodness, it's some penalty. There's no pressure on it really, but dispatched it wonderfully well. Nice and cute. Oh.
That appeared to be brandished in the direction of Igor Jovicevic, the coach.
My goodness. They deserve it. You're spot on. Would have been unjust had they not got themselves on the score sheet. I would presume that would have been remonstrating maybe the decision not to be a red card.
Could have been that. We're speculating, of course. There was a case for one. Or did he feel he needed to go onto the field to try to sort out the debate over who should take the penalty, which you're not allowed to do? We'll never know for certain. All calmness, even having conceded a goal from Al-Nassr's perspective, and Castro embraces Mane as he's withdrawn. Surely, the job is done. Khalid Al-Ghanam has come on. And confirmation that it was Jovicevic. So unless an appeal is forthcoming. He will sit out the next game. A tough one, out to one away. It's Friday. Don't know about the keeper there. That's a ball that's troubled Al-Nassr a little bit today. Six additional minutes. Talisca.
Arguably the first one he's got wrong. Essentially, it's his performance, his individual quality that finished this as a contest. And it looks like an inspired substitution, really. I think it was born out of getting someone on with a bit more guile, that eye for a pass, and of course an eye for the spectacular. As good as Raed has been this season, and really enjoyed watching him. Different profile, player, different quality, and maybe that eye for a pass, the calmness, I think, in the final third was called for. Certainly did the job.
Kasim. Ozana. Ronaldo. Bakari twice has tried to make a little run through the middle. The ball just wouldn't arrive for him. But there, I won't say there's any after effects of that little spat, but he didn't release the ball in that direction when he might have done. No poor Brozovic getting himself carded now.
Might have had something to do with it, mightn't it? Taking
I
on.
don't know why you're laughing, by the way. You were a centre forward.
Yeah, I think that's frustration is telling there, wasn't it?
It was indeed.
Lash from 30 yards on the angle.
Ronaldo has at least got one reason to be cheerful going home. Brozovic just edged off it.
Very nearly, I'm sure he started to think about his finish on the stretch in the end. Would have been the little dink, wouldn't it, had he have been able to get there a bit quicker.
Every player who's ever played the game, Sam, has got stories about the dressing room confrontations. I think there might be one for Al-Raed at the end of this game between those two. At least they passed the ball to each other. Comfortable save in the end from Al-Gidi. Done a lot of things very well throughout the game, Mohamed Fazer, in addition to making sure he did score the penalty.
Yeah, the deflection actually made it a slightly tougher save. He's tired now, you can tell, but touch just went a little astray there.
They've got a little help from Gonzalez to deny Ronaldo. Brozovic.
This has been far from perfect. They're going to get the win quite comprehensively in the end, but 40 minutes, very much in a game, the second half as well. That defensive line It's been exposed when they play against the better sides, we'll see.
Now the other way potentially, Ronaldo to expose the home side again. He sticks it in the net, but I'm not sure this is going to count either. Is it going to count? He's still celebrating, he's still hoping. He doesn't know for certain. They all run to him. And it looks like the goal is going to stand this time. So a double in the end for Ronaldo.
Yeah, in conversation with the referee, he smiles. And that's his goal, that's his second, and it's not the truest strike once more. You know how, yeah, it's onside, isn't it? It's Al-Bishi on the far side, I think, that plays him on, and it gets the deflection, which means the goalkeeper, Moreira, doesn't stand a chance, doesn't even leave his feet. He's got himself a brace.
I wasn't certain, the body language of the referee, and I may add, I don't think he actually helped us very much. Anyway, they did it all by themselves, they didn't need any helping hands from anybody. Ronaldo gets two, and it is a comprehensive victory for Al-Nassr at the end of this. Doesn't really tell the full story. Raed with lots of good moments in the first half. Chances came and went for them. The sending off of Waihishi, and just to confirm that despite the confusion, we believe that goal is chalked off, so Ronaldo will have to settle for the one, and I think he's making up with the referee now. A few people with making up to do, including the two who debated the penalty for Raed. Fuzer did loft it into the net, and that was a moment of due respectability for a great gutsy effort by the 10 men. That last Ronaldo strike confirmed as being ruled out. The result, Raed 1, Al-Nassr 3.
I got a good feeling about this, yeah, I'm with it.